dozing off behind the wheel today at noon. Now, this UTSA grad hopes to combat driver fatigue.
And a Westside family woke up to bullet holes in their vehicle. Their search for answers next.
We're watching the Gulf of Mexico, area of low pressure there, likely going to bring us some tropical moisture over the weekend. What does that mean for our forecast? We'll take a look coming up.
Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
First today at noon, a garage fire damaging a West Bexar County home this morning.
The Bexar County Fire Marshal's office says the fire was called in around 7:45 this morning. The fire starting at a home in the 13,700 block of Tramonto Hill near Petranco Road and Highway 211. Officials say the fire actually started in the garage, but they don't know what exactly caused that fire. Thankfully, the flames stayed in the garage and didn't spread to the rest of the home. One person was in the house at the time and only suffered minor burns. The estimated damage still unknown.
A family desperate for a way to solve a dangerous problem in their Westside neighborhood. They woke up to a shattered window and bullet holes in their vehicle, all from stray bullets that were fired on the street nearby. Katrina Weber reports police say these close calls are not uncommon there.
Trouble overnight had San Antonio police spending the morning in this neighborhood. They got a call around 7:30 this morning from one family in the 6700 block of Monterey who'd had a fitful night.
It sounded like a bomb or something. We heard it, but we didn't know what it hit.
What woke up Leah Brown in the middle of the night turned out to be gunfire in the street outside her parents' home.
A lot of guys hang out here that don't live here. So then when they get into it with people and they're shooting at them, they're shooting our house.
In this case, bullets not only hit the house, but also tore through her father's truck. Police confirm the shooter most likely was aiming at someone else in a group not connected to the family. Officers tell me this is an ongoing problem. They say they've had calls on the street before for stray bullets hitting homes and even a person.
It's just ridiculous. Wish we knew a solution of, keeping them away from hanging out here.
Both Brown and police say they are at their wits' end when it comes to solving this problem. Officers say they've been trying to crack down for some time now, but not everyone in the area is willing to cooperate.
We don't know a solution, but we're hoping we find one before it's too late.
Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Trending right now on KSAT.com, the Texas Senate approving a bill banning homeless encampments all across the state. That bill, House Bill 1925, would make camping in unapproved public spaces a Class C felony, punishable with a fine of up to $500. The House approved the bill earlier this month, and the Senate passed it yesterday with a vote of 28-3. If the bill becomes law, cities would not be allowed to opt out of it. We've got the full story on KSAT.com.
A new UTSA graduate hopes to one day bring a product to market that could help make roads safer. It's a device that detects fatigue in drivers. Our Samuel King reports the idea has actually won awards for Flores and her team.
Inspiration for entrepreneurs can come from anywhere. For Cecilia Flores, it was from one of her UTSA classmates.
The summer before we were going to start our idea pitching, one of my classmates, my teammates, had a brother who had an accident while driving late at night because he fell asleep. She was actually scared by how bad the accident was. That's why she thought there's a need. From there, we took it to commercial drivers.
So the team came up with the idea of a device that would use machine learning to detect fatigue among drivers, monitoring things like eye or muscle movements. A dispatcher would then be notified if fatigue is detected. Flores decided to focus on commercial drivers whose already heavy workloads increased during the pandemic.
Everyone else was at home, but who had to be working, delivering everything? It was the commercial transportation drivers. They were doing extra time. We did some research, found out their deliveries were 3 times their normal rate, and their shifts were stretching up to 13 hours.
The idea for the device won first place at UTSA's Big Rowdy Idea competition in 2019. As a first-generation college student, Flores is a co-founder of the company Mecum Medical, Mecum standing for Making Every Customer Matter. She says UTSA has offered a lot of support.
All of them always demand the very best from you. They don't consider where we are, that we're not an Ivy League. What does that matter? What matters is you do your very best, you look for genuine problems, and then you get real solutions.
So what's next? Flores is still working on perfecting the idea and hopes someone will pick it up soon. She says at its full potential, it will be more advanced than other devices currently on the market. Samuel King, KSAT 12 News.
We are just days away from the deadline for Fiesta lovers to get in their porch parade entries from homes to businesses to schools. Today we visited Delview Elementary, home of the Dolphins, and since the kids didn't have any Fiesta last year, they were pretty excited to get on the porch parade decorating fun with a chance to show off their Fiesta spirit. They used a takeoff of one of the Fiesta parade traditions. Instead of show us your shoes, it's show us your books.
They were coming out here. They like to come after recess and just kind of see the front porch. And they were in the middle of the ramp, just kind of waving and smiling, pretending like they were on the float. So they had a lot of fun with this and are so excited to be able to, incorporate two things that we love. Number one, we're leaders here at Delview. That is one of the things that we stress a lot of, being leaders. And then also our love for books. They love books. Reading is our thing.
Once again, if you've decorated your home, business, or school, you need to get your entry in by Monday night at 11:59. Our website has all the info for you. Just go to KSAT.com.
And in more Fiesta news, 3 San Antonio councilwomen hosting a drive-through Fiesta-themed vaccine clinic. It features El Rey Feo 72. Residents 18 and older will be able to come and get their Johnson & Johnson one-dose vaccine. They say they'll have 900 doses available. The event's happening tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. It ends at noon. It'll be held in the parking lot of the 2600 2600 Plaza Banquet Hall. That's on 2600 Southwest Military Drive. May marks Military Appreciation Month, a patriotic time to honor both active and former military who have honorably served our country.
Today, we want to highlight the accomplishments of a local veteran turned entrepreneur right here in Military City, USA, who even after 2 bouts with cancer has been successful. Alicia Barreto met with the veteran and has more of his story.
Pizza Pizza may be the motto for this franchise, but for Renee Jackson, an Army veteran, he says it's all about serving the communities he's part of. This retired Army Lieutenant Colonel owns 6 Little Caesar locations, including this one in Helotes. The chapter as a small business owner began after serving in the Army for about 24 years and being medically retired due to 2 diagnoses of cancer. During his transition out of the military and second fight with cancer, Renee Jackson knew he still had a purpose, the desire to succeed, and could use his military background in logistics to open his first pizza franchise.
Being a retiree and being a small business owner, you also have to give something back to the communities that you operate in. You have to, because it's like they're going to make or they're going to break you. And if they come in and they realize that you're sincere and you want to do something for them, I mean, look around you. We support all the high schools, all the junior highs, all the elementary schools.
Jackson is set to open 2 more locations within the next 6 to 8 months, and he says with great rewards come great responsibility. And in honor of Military Appreciation Month, we do want to celebrate all the accomplishments of Jackson and other veterans like him. For Jackson, he's doing well. His cancer has been in remission for more than 10 years. The full story on KSAT.com. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
COVID cases at an all-time low here in the United States, but less people are getting their vaccinations. Still ahead, how different states are combating vaccine hesitancy.
And the Spurs now have to regroup and look to the future since they are now out of the playoff picture. Got that coming up in sports.
And after the break, Israel and Palestine agreeing to a ceasefire, but how long will that peace last?
A ceasefire reached between Israel and Hamas appears to be holding after days of deadly violence in the Middle East, but the truce is already being tested amid clashes between Palestinian protesters and Israeli police.
ABC's Elizabeth Schulze tells us that President Biden is now vowing to continue pursuing quiet diplomacy in the region.
After 11 days of devastation and violence between Israel and Hamas, a fragile ceasefire. Overnight, Palestinians in Gaza took to the streets, celebrating a reprieve from the rockets and sirens. But tensions remain high. Clashes breaking out this morning between Palestinian protesters and Israeli police at the sacred Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. Protection of the mosque was one of Hamas's conditions to agree to the ceasefire. Since the fighting began, more than 70,000 Palestinians have been bombed out of their homes. At least 260 Palestinians were killed in the West Bank and Gaza, and over 3,300 wounded. 12 in Israel were killed and about 350 wounded. Both sides are claiming victory. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanking President Biden for pledging to replenish Israel's Iron Dome, which helped strike down thousands of Hamas rockets. Yesterday, the president acknowledged the two leaders had spoken 6 times in recent days.
The United States fully supports Israel's right to defend itself against indiscriminate rocket attacks from Hamas.
Biden also recognized Egypt for its role in brokering the ceasefire, saying the U.S. remains committed to quiet diplomacy in the Middle East.
I believe the Palestinians and Israelis equally deserve to live safely and securely and to enjoy equal measures of freedom, prosperity, and democracy.
Now, President Biden had been facing pressure from progressive Democrats to provide more support to Palestinians. Biden vowed to work with the Palestinian Authority going forward, but made a point of saying that does not include working with terrorist group Hamas. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
Let's get outside with live cam. Another dry day, but man, that's going to change, it looks like, for some of us over the weekend.
Yes, we are watching what's going on down in the Gulf of Mexico. Some development trying to get going there. We're going to keep an eye on that. Meantime, let's look at the future cast. Not quite what we want to look at right now, but we'll tell you the aquifer is holding pretty steady, right around 666. We're going to talk more about your forecast coming up.
Never miss a story. Watch live or when you want. San Antonio's latest news and weather, streaming free on KSAT TV.
We have some late-breaking news this noon. Police investigating a shooting in the 300 block of King William. That's in Southtown.
Now, we're told the call came in a little after 11 this morning. This is an ongoing investigation. We've got a crew on the scene waiting for a report from the officers on that scene to give us some details. And as soon as we get those details, we will bring them to you.
Meantime, we're also keeping an eye on breaking weather news. If you have plans this weekend, you need to hear this next forecast.
Yeah, this could be interesting.
Well, yeah, we may have some tropical development in the Gulf of Mexico, but here's what I'll tell you. The forecast really doesn't change much. It's just some scattered downpours this weekend. All in all, we should be just fine. We'll watch for a few pockets of heavier rain, but the new developments here are the fact that yes, the Hurricane Center is watching what's going on down there in the Gulf of Mexico. And I want to show you the water vapor first off. And it kind of gives you a good idea of what we have. A circulation here. You see the spin in the atmosphere. And then where you see these orange and yellow colors, that represents some really dry air. That's sitting over our western counties. So we're going to get in a situation where half of our viewing area is going to stay relatively dry. And then the eastern half will have a better shot at some of these scattered downpours associated with this tropical moisture. There's a look at the spin. Does look like there's a surface circulation there, but you'll notice there's some what looks like dry air being pulled into this, so that may keep it from developing any further. It's possible we could get a tropical depression out of this, but again, I still don't think it changes things all that much. We're not looking for a hurricane or anything like that. The Hurricane Center still puts us at a 40% chance of development as it moves off to the north and west. And here's what our forecast is showing. This is just one of our computer models, but seems to have a pretty good handle on it. This is by 5 o'clock today, shows a couple showers along the coast. And then as we get towards, say, Saturday morning, some showers starting to fill in east of I-35. And then that spin comes right over top of us, and that brings a couple of showers here and there, some downpours, but it won't be raining all day. And we may even see a few peaks of sun. This is around 5 o'clock tomorrow, still showing some showers around. And then I think Sunday we'll have a little better chance of rain as even deeper moisture works in. But the coverage on Saturday, just isolated stuff for San Antonio. You go east, it turns scattered, and then out towards Houston, rain chances are much higher. That changes a little bit on Sunday. We'll see more scattered activity here across the I-35 corridor. So a little better chance of rain here in San Antonio on Sunday and even into Monday. Right now, we've got partly cloudy skies, 79 degrees at the airport, 81 both Stinson and Kelly. Randolph is sitting at 79, and an east-southeasterly breeze anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour. Cloud cover has been kind of off and on today, but there has been enough sun to boost those temperatures to near 80 degrees here around town. 77 Bernie Stage. You're at 82 in Cotulla, 80 right now in Kennedy, and the dew points are sky high. There's a ton of moisture out there. That doesn't really change. It's going to stay humid going into next week. So the forecast for today, just a 20% chance of rain, and I really think that's probably east of San Antonio. Easterly winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Extended forecast will go 30% chance tomorrow, but keep in mind as you go east of town, those rain chances go up. Scattered downpours Sunday into Monday, 40% chance of rain. And then by the time we get into Wednesday of next week, rain chances do start to wind down. We'll see less in the way of rain and drier conditions by Thursday into Friday, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
A former local high school star had a great season in the NBA. It might be worth an award. And Zeke Elliott in more trouble thanks to his dogs. Coming up. Once again, it feels a little strange to be home and not covering the Spurs in the playoffs. They are not in the postseason for the second year in a row. That has not happened in 45 years, but that just goes along with the rest of the season and what this team had to endure, losing Derek White more than once. They had to go through COVID quarantine, and that really changed the schedule. The Spurs had to play 40 games in 68 days in the second half of the season, but still had a shot at the postseason with the play-in tournament.
I don't know if I've ever been more proud of a team that just doesn't quit. No matter what the mistakes, no matter what the circumstances are, they really fight. And that's a good base.
I'm proud of it. Win, lose, or draw. Good game, bad games, no matter what. I'm with my team, forever. Never got a Spurs jersey on. Those are my brothers. I'm always proud of just the fight. That's just especially for myself. I was raised that way. Fight until you can't breathe no more. So, of course, I'm proud of us. Obviously, I'm not proud of the outcome, of us going home tonight. But, at the end of the day, I'm proud of my team always.
We'll see what kind of changes they make over the offseason. Hey, congratulations to Wagner grad Jordan Clarkson. He's one of the 3 finalists for the NBA's 6th Man of the Year award. He is up for the award along with Jazz teammate Joe Ingles and Derrick Rose of the Knicks. They're all 3 up for that postseason honor. Clarkson averaged a career-high 18 points for the Jazz this season.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Dallas Cowboys' Ezekiel Elliott needs a bigger fence or a stronger leash or something. The Cowboys star running back has been issued 3 citations by Frisco police because 3 of his dogs were loose, and one of the dogs bit 2 people and sent them to the hospital. All happened yesterday in the Starwood neighborhood. One of the dogs, a Rottweiler, is now in a 10-day quarantine. This is not the first time Zeke's dogs have caused problems. Back in June of 2020, a woman pool attendant filed a lawsuit against Elliott after she claimed 3 dogs attacked her at his home in March of 2020, causing serious bodily injury. A high school baseball playoffs, Class 6A, 3rd round in the ISD Sports Complex. Smithson Valley Rangers hosting the Reagan Rattlers in Game 1 of the series, top of the 2nd. Rattlers have bases loaded. Aiden Coleman hits a chopper to second. It's good enough to get Britton Moore across the plate for the first run of the game. Reagan not done. Cole Tabor with a textbook bunt to bring home Staten Ingram. Little squeeze play for you. The Rattlers lead grew to 3 until the 4th. The Rangers' David DeHoyas with the liner to center field. Casey Wells scores from second. The Rangers are on the board, and they force extra innings and go on to win it 4-3 in 8. Game 2 coming up today. To the 3rd round of the playoffs in Class 4A, Navarro Panthers facing Canyon Lake Hawks in Game 1 of their series at the Eney ISD Sports Complex. First inning, bases full of Hawks. Matthew McLean at the plate. The pitch is wide and pegs him right in the back. Oh, that hurt. He'll be fine, and Canyon Lake gets on the board. Still in the first, 2-0. Tanner Schultz hits it into fielder's choice, but that allows Chase Anderson to score. Hawks take a 3-0 lead, and that's the final. Canyon takes the game 3-0. Game 2 today, 4:30, Eney ISD.
All right, we are going to be right back with late breaking news. But if you ever wanted to go to space, in the spotlight today, we're going to tell you how you might get your chance.
And COVID cases in the U.S. are at an all-time low, but less people are going to get their vaccine. After the break, we'll tell you what different states are doing to combat vaccine hesitancy.
We'll be right back. We have we're going to go to the San Antonio police chief, who is now approaching the podium.
He pulled out a weapon, shot the guy in the back of the head, and ran down Madison, where he carjacked a Mercedes from an elderly couple. That car just wrecked out down on South Patrol, and we believe that we have him, the driver, hemmed in behind a building. That's what I know right now about that. So we'll see how that develops. The victim was about a 50-year-old male. The shooter was somewhere in his between 20 and 30 years old, wearing a maroon flannel shirt and blue jeans. And as I mentioned, we believe that we have him hemmed in behind a building down on South Patrol after he wrecked out the Mercedes that he carjacked. And that's all we know right now. And that's preliminary information. What we've gathered so far could possibly change.
Do you put some schools on lockdown?
Do I do what?
Do you put some school on lockdown?
I don't know if we did or not. I'm not sure what schools are by the location where he is.
Do we know the status of the elderly couple that got carjacked?
They were uninjured. They were carjacked at gunpoint. The victim is in serious, actually critical, but stable condition.
The gunshot was victim here?
Yes.
And the homeowner?
The homeowner was unhurt. He actually came out and I believe he performed CPR on the victim.
Was anyone else injured in the wreck?
Not that I know of. Okay.
Okay, guys, if we get updated information, we'll go ahead and let your desk know.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
Chief.
We just listened to the police chief give us some very brief remarks about what they're investigating right there in the 300 block of King William in the King William neighborhood. What we're being told, and we're trying to piece all of this together, but there is still an active situation ongoing. There was a Mercedes that was carjacked with two elderly people inside of it. Eventually, that scene ended at King William, where apparently there was a shooter involved.
Well, they do know that they have the suspect cornered right now. They're trying to obviously get him arrested and get him into custody. But as far as the other details, we're still trying to put those all together for you. We'll be doing that over the next few minutes, and we'll have a complete picture of what's going on down there for you in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. The teenage suspect accused of killing two people and seriously injuring another during protest in Wisconsin after the police shooting of Jacob Blake last year, making his first in-person court appearance today.
Kyle Rittenhouse facing a slew of charges. ABC's Rena Roy tells us if convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison.
18-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse facing a judge in person for the first time after authorities say he shot two people to death in August and seriously injured another. The violence unfolding during protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin, following the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Police say Rittenhouse, who was 17 years old at the time, traveled from his home in Illinois to Kenosha with an AR-15 style rifle. Graphic video shows a group of people chasing him. He then falls and begins shooting into the crowd. Cell phone footage then shows him walking past police lines with his hands up and his rifle over his shoulder, even as protesters yelled he had shot someone. Rittenhouse later turned himself into authorities, claiming he wanted to protect businesses from the demonstrations. He has appeared in court a number of times since he was arrested, but virtually because of COVID-19 protocols. Rittenhouse is out on $2 million bail.
We lost a son.
his mom and I lost our son. And how would you feel if the killer of your son is just able to walk free?
He's pleaded not guilty to charges including homicide and reckless endangerment. His trial is scheduled to begin in November. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
The average daily number of new COVID-19 cases in the U.S. now down to its lowest in nearly a year. But vaccination rates have been slowing down. And Melissa Rainey tells us some states have been going to extremes to entice people to go ahead and get the shot.
This week, some decidedly good news on the pandemic front. For the first time since the pandemic began, COVID cases were down in all 50 states. That's since changed. 4 states have inched up in the 7-day average of new cases, but it's some much-needed good news.
If you think about this time last year, when we were looking into a pandemic that was getting worse and worse, more cases, more hospitalizations, more deaths, and we didn't really have a way to fight the virus. But now, thankfully, we have not 1, but 3 vaccines that have proven to be highly effective.
But with that bit of good news comes the fact that fewer Americans are getting vaccinated. According to CDC data published Thursday, the average daily pace of coronavirus vaccinations is down nearly 50% from its peak in April. Almost 127 million people are fully vaccinated. That's 38% of the population.
We are in the middle of the worst pandemic in a century. We actually have a ticket out. And the fact that we're fighting these things is incredibly frustrating because we're fighting ourselves. We're not just fighting the virus anymore.
In some states, the ticket to getting people vaccinated, cash. New York, Ohio, and Maryland are all offering lottery drawings for people who get the COVID-19 shot.
That's 40 drawings over 40 days for the chance to win $40,000 each day.
Leaders in Ohio say the state is already seeing results with the Vax-A-Million campaign, increasing vaccination rates by 28% since it was announced on May 13th. I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
As coronavirus cases are down and many restrictions are being lifted here in the U.S., the World Health Organization is still urging travelers to avoid leaving their home country. The WHO discouraging international travel due to concerns that more transmissible variants like the one first detected in India could pose a risk.
Right now, in the face of a continued threat and new uncertainty, we need to continue to exercise caution and rethink or avoid international travel.
The good news is, he says, authorized vaccines appear to be effective against known strains of the virus that are causing concern. And some countries, including Spain, saying they will start allowing full vaccinated visitors starting June 7th.
Taking a look outside with Live Cam, we are keeping an eye on the Gulf of Mexico. Already things bubbling up over there, Justin.
Sounds a little weird. We're not even in hurricane season yet. And here we are already talking about some tropical weather. Not only do we have this in the Gulf of Mexico, there's another system out in the Atlantic. It's subtropical. It's not truly tropical, but it may get a name. So we're starting things off early as if 2021 already hasn't been busy enough. This is what we're watching in the Gulf of Mexico. This swirl here looks like this could become something, but it doesn't have much time. The real estate is running out here because it's going to be making landfall, it looks like, later tonight. So it likely isn't going to develop into much more than a depression, if that. But we do think that it is going to throw some moisture in our direction, give us some chances for some downpours over the weekend. So that's what we'll be watching. Hurricane Center, we're waiting for an update here, but they're still giving this about a 40% chance of development within the next day or so, because again, it's going to make landfall here fairly soon. Want to get you the pollen count because we missed it earlier. Molds are moderate. It's at 830. That's down a little bit from yesterday. Grass and pigweed are both in the low category. And temperatures, we're in the 80s. We're still getting a little bit of sun here and there, so that's boosting those numbers. 82 Helotes, 81 Port SA, officially 79 at the airport. In the forecast calls for about a 20% chance of rain. We'll top out at 85. Better chances over the weekend. We'll take a look at that forecast in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. If you are experiencing chronic pain, you're not alone. Still ahead, we'll break down the numbers from a new health study.
Never miss a story. Watch live or when you want. San Antonio's latest news and weather, streaming free on KSAT TV.
everyone. This is your daily tech and business briefing from Cheddar News. Tesla's Model S Plaid will finally be delivered on June the 3rd. Now, customers had expected the deliveries to begin earlier this year. That after Tesla CEO Elon Musk previously said the car was already in production back in January on an earnings call. Now, according to Musk, the Model S Plaid is Tesla's fastest car ever. It goes from 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. Meanwhile, YouTube has banned a Kansas school district's board meeting video, that due to misleading comments about COVID-19. Residents of the Shawnee Mission School District have been calling for schools to remove their mask mandate, some falsely claiming that COVID-19 not contagious, that masks cause cancer. And Snap is creating new spectacles that are the company's first true augmented reality glasses. Now, they won't be available to the public as they're not ready yet for mass market. What will be ready soon, though, is Snap's new iOS video app. It will give people editing tools specifically designed for mobile or vertical videos. It'll also use Snapchat's Spotlight feature to help people decide what to create. And that's your Cheddar News Business and Tech Update. I'm Baker Machado, coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
All right, we have an update on that situation on Southtown down there on King William, the 300 block. Apparently, that house was having some work done on it. There was a contractor working there, and he had 2 day laborers. One of the day laborers got into it with the contractor, pulled out a gun, and shot him in the head. The owner of that home came out and then gave CPR to that contractor. The suspect who shot the contractor was able to escape.
That's right. He ran down the street. This is in the 300 block of King William, right there in the King William neighborhood near Southtown. That day laborer who allegedly shot the contractor in the back of the head took off running and then actually carjacked an elderly couple that was driving a Mercedes. They got out of the car uninjured, but then that shooter took off to the south of town and, from what we understand, wrecked the Mercedes and is now hemmed in against a building, and police are working that active scene right now. So we have a contractor in his 50s in critical condition who was shot in either the back or the back of the head. And then we have an active situation with a shooter and a standoff of some type with police.
All this information is coming from Chief William McManus, who addressed the media just about 15, 20 minutes ago. That's where we're getting all this current information as we speak. And of course, they will be able to update the situation as the afternoon goes on, and we'll have those updates for you on KSAT 12 and at 5 and 6, and of course on our website, KSAT.com. So stay with us for further updates on that.
Yes. Again, police say that the shooter is a man in his 20s or 30s wearing a maroon flannel shirt. He is not in custody and has wrecked the carjacked vehicle on the south side of town. So apparently that is someone the police department want us to keep an eye out for, because he is apparently armed and dangerous. We'll be right back. In your health headlines today, your nagging pain may be more common than you think, and experts recognize the need to do something about it. With more on that, here's ABC's Ike Jachi.
Chronic pain is pain lasting 3 months or more. It's recognized as a common problem in the U.S., but we're still learning just how common and costly this problem can be. A study reviewing a national survey found chronic pain is common and takes a toll on many aspects of life. 50.2 million adults in the U.S. have pain most days or every day. That's 1 in 5 adults. This pain can limit activities like getting around, doing things around the house, or enjoying your free time. It can also impact the ability to work. People with chronic pain miss 3 times as many workdays in the U.S. That's nearly $80 billion lost in wages per year. With its clear negative impacts, experts recognize chronic pain as a public health issue. With this Medical Minute, I'm Ike Jachi.
Little stirring in the Gulf, which might have an effect on your weekend. So get ready.
It could. It could.
Like I said, you guys just aren't paid enough money for the kind of weather we've had these last few weeks.
It's been a little bit busy. And like I said earlier, here's the takeaway from this weekend. Look, it's not going to be an all-day rain event. You can still keep your plans. I don't think the forecast really changes that much. We knew we were going to get some tropical moisture in here. It just may be a little more centralized as this thing kind of wraps up a little bit. Let's look at the satellite radar, and you can see where the rain is right now, and you can pick out our swirl right there. So that's what the Hurricane Center is keeping an eye on, and I'm waiting for their update to see if they think there is a better chance of this becoming a tropical depression. But regardless, it's running out of real estate. It is expected to make landfall tonight. And so basically, it's just going to throw some moisture in our direction. And there could be some heavier rain, especially as you get over towards Houston. That's where there could be really some good downpours. For us, it'll be hit or miss. But a little closer look at this, and there is a low-level circulation, it looks like there, and some rain on the west side of it as it stands right now. Again, Hurricane Center is tracking this. As of this morning, they put a 40% chance of this developing over the next day or so, because again, it's getting closer to the Texas coast. Forecast does show that by 5 o'clock, maybe a couple showers along the coast. Houston's already getting a little bit of rain. And then as that circulation comes on board, some isolated to scattered showers and downpours tomorrow. And that'll be the case into the afternoon as this thing kind of falls apart. But the moisture's still there. And I think even into Sunday and Monday, we'll still have some good tropical moisture around to help kick off some afternoon showers and storms. But we're not looking for severe weather. There could be some localized flooding, but it won't be widespread. And any one of these showers and storms could produce some pretty decent rain. But this is around 5 o'clock on Sunday, and you see it is isolated to widely scattered. So that is the situation. And for tomorrow, we're looking for just isolated stuff with better chances off to the east of I-35. Does get a little bit better. I think rain chances kick up a little bit more on Sunday with that moisture hanging around. Outside right now, we've got mostly cloudy skies, 79 degrees, east-southeasterly winds at about 7. The humidity has increased, so it is sticky out there. 81 in New Braunfels, 78 Canyon Lake, 79 Comfort, 79 in Bandera, and 81 Carrizo Springs, 82 Cotulla. Dew point tracker shows dew points are going to stay high, if not climb a little bit. So that doesn't change through the foreseeable future. It's going to be humid even into next week once we lose the rain chances. 20% chance, I'd say this evening, probably closer to the coast. San Antonio, for the most part, I think stays dry. But a 30% chance tomorrow, 83 degrees, 81 on Sunday, 40% chance of rain, 40% chance on Monday. That's where we're talking about those scattered downpours. And then rain chances taper off Tuesday into Wednesday, and then temperatures climb as a result. 88 on Wednesday, 90 on Thursday. And again, we're not even into hurricane season yet. We've got two systems out there that we're watching, one out in the Atlantic, which may get a name as early as today, but it's subtropical. It's not going to affect land. And then we'll watch what happens in the Gulf of Mexico if this thing can spin up and indeed become a tropical depression. Again, may bring us some deeper moisture over the next couple days. So that's what we'll be keeping an eye on, guys.
Thank you so much, Justin.
You can go to space and get on TV. We'll tell you how you can get in the spotlight coming up after the break.
Have you always wanted to travel the stars, maybe? Well, you're in luck. The Discovery Channel wants to send someone to the International Space Station next year. The network is casting for a new show, Who Wants to Be an Astronaut? The contestants will compete for a seat on the first fully private human mission to the ISS. That rocket is set to launch in 2022, and Discovery says you don't have to be a rocket scientist to apply. I wonder if you could apply for your husband. They're looking for regular people who want to share their journey to space with the world. Applicants do have to be at least 18 years old, live in the U.S., fluent in English, and be in good health.
Nearly 70 big cats removed from an Oklahoma animal park on Monday that was featured in the Netflix documentary series Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem, and Madness. According to the Justice Department, 68 protected lions, tigers, lion-tiger hybrids, and jaguars were seized from the Thackerville Zoo because of ongoing violations of the Endangered Species Act. The park owners, Jeff and Lauren Lowe, received several citations, including failing to provide the animals with adequate or timely vet care, appropriate nutrition, and shelter. The Lowe's bought the zoo from Joseph Maldonado Passage, a.k.a. Joe Exotic.
All right, we're going to head over to Market Square for a big Friday SA Live.
Yeah, we got to start moving here.
Yes, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
We'll explain this coming up in just a minute. Yes, Mark Austin is joining us. Also, we are trying to get fit on this Friday, and Jason Eccles from Eccles Fitness is here, and we're talking about kickboxing, the real thing. And this is a good way to get in shape, right?
It can definitely get you in shape.
You said it's all about the footwork.
All about the footwork.
Let's see the footwork.
Fundamentals. You step up and you step back. You step up with your lead leg first, and you step back with your rear leg first. You step left with your left leg first, and you step right.
And you
with
can
your
really
right
start going to
leg
town,
first.
too.
You can start going to town.
Demo.
You can start like doing the. Just kidding.
Yes, we'll talk about a celebrity clientele as well. And hey, guess what? Memorial Day weekend is coming, and of course, summer fun and family fun can be had over there at SeaWorld. Check out the Texas Stingray ride. Wait till you see this.
I think Fiona had a good time on that one. And being on the Stingray roller coaster like that brings up the topic, what's your favorite roller coaster?
Let us know. Think about it. The one that you would ride more than once.
Is it the long sweeping curves and all that, or the real quick ones and all that stuff, and where you've ridden on it? So, okay, power of positive thinking. And that's what Jen is going to be talking to this guest about. And, it's a good way to get into the weekend. Think positive thoughts, right?
And how about some music as we go into the weekend? We'll hear from the 501s. All that and more when SA Live continues in just a few minutes.